let's get into the video. Alright, so this one is a very different one. I have a special guest with me, and she is here in 3, 2, 1.
Hello! Sorry, let me sanitize real quick before I start this video.
That's fine.
Sorry, sis, we're
So
out.
here.
Somebody needs to get some more.
This is Mercy. Have a special pose. Good.
Don't really know. Not a whole lot of I'm never keen on this, so.
Yep, this is the first time for me, first time for her doing a video together. So,
Being on good old YouTube.
a little bit of background with Mercy. She just came back from a trip from London, England. Yeah.
I'm all safe, just to let you know. All good, all healthy. It was fine, enjoyed it. Shout out to the British people, and yeah. Still don't really like tea, sorry. More of a coffee drinker myself.
They gonna come for you.
They can come for me. Come and send me some tea. That'd be great.
And she's also a nursing student or assistant nurse.
I'm a CNA right now. So
CNA right now. Certified nursing assistant.
and I'm gonna be a nurse. So
Yeah. So her side hustle is getting money, and none of you can do anything about it.
yeah.
Okay, so this video is gonna be a summary, like, movie review of the movie Sleepless in Seattle. So we both watched this about a month ago.
Yeah, and we were just scrolling through Netflix, and we were just like, what the heck should we watch? And I was like, that looks good. So we picked that, and it's old, and all that, and I like. We kind of have a different movie taste, but
Yeah.
we compromised on this one. So we watched it, and it's more of a Christmas classic, but whatever. Christmas in July, guys.
It definitely was not expecting it to be a holiday movie, but I don't care because we both like to celebrate Christmas early.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yep. Okay, so we are going to give like a little short summarization of the movie, just like a really quick one through, and then we'll talk about things that we saw that were interesting or things that were funny to us. How this movie starts.
So it really starts off that the little boy makes a call to the radio station, and he pretty much blasts his dad, talking about how he's very lonely, and
He's a single man. His wife just died. He needs someone for the holidays.
And pretty much he's being like eHarmony for him. He's calling him up, and he's like, yo, hook me up with a beautiful gal for my dad, because my dad's a lonely guy. And
Yeah.
he's pretty much this lady. We see this lady who you really have no idea who the heck she is, but she's driving, and she's listening to like the radio broadcast of this just little child that is just on the phone with the radio people.
Wait, what are their names again? Wait, what was Tom Hanks' character's name? Wait, no, the movie first starts out at a funeral, and then the next scene is him in a building, and he's working the next day, and an employee asks him like, how are you doing? Your wife just died, and he's kind of like
Tells how well we know the movie.
yeah, he's not really feeling it. But what were their names? Oh, the little boy's name was Jonah.
And I think
remember
his
that.
name was Sam.
Sam?
And then I don't remember what the lady was named. Blonde lady, number 1.
Oh, her name was Annie. Her name was
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Annie is listening to the radio.
While she's driving.
And she's driving. So then.
It's snowing.
So then the little boy, or Jonah, asks for his dad to come to the phone to speak to the woman who is on the radio. And so then Sam and the radio presenter are talking to each other through the radio.
Yeah,
And then,
because he ends up hearing that his son is talking to somebody, and he has no idea who it is until he figures out, oh, it's the radio people, and they're kind of dissing on him because he's a lonely man and his son is speaking for him.
As Sam and this presenter are talking with each other over the phone about his current life situation, like, Annie starts to feel like really deeply empathetic and connected to this unknown man's story that she's hearing, and then she starts to get really emotional. I start to really feel for this
And she
person.
in a way is kind of falling in love with his story. And so then it's kind of like, she's kind of like looking for him. She works for a magazine.
I think so.
She works for like a magazine, and she starts like trying to figure out like, oh, have you heard like this guy on the radio that like he's like really lonely, and they call it Sleepless in Seattle because he's like in Seattle. And so
wait, there are like a bunch of different ones like based on, like, I think there's like
they're
one
like in different areas.
Yeah, I think there was one called like Depressed in Denver, or there were a bunch, like, it's cities that were like associated with a person's emotional state, I guess.
Then he ends up getting a ton of written letters from women that are just like, oh my gosh, I'd love to be your sweetheart for Christmas, or and he's getting all these like letters and requests, and like his son is opening up and reading some of them, and I'm like, okay, well. And then so Annie, she, being the kind of crazy-ish stalker she is, she ends up at one point there's a scene in the movie where she is literally right across the street for them. And he's like dating, or he's seeing this really annoying lady.
Raccoon
lady, who just like,
whose laugh is the most distinguishable thing about this lady is her terrible high-pitched laugh.
Yeah.
And Jonah does not like it.
No, and I think she's like always had a thing for Sam, and then he finally just like noticed her because he was like, you know what, I don't need to be lonely or something. So he was like, you know, screw it, I'll accept it. And so he just kind of was in denial and was like, yeah, we'll do it, let's do it, let's be friends.
Wait, can you actually look at this movie so we don't totally miss it? Because I'm like 80% sure that's what this person's name is.
Yeah, I probably should do that. Yeah, Annie, Sam, Jonathan. So we're right.
Okay, phew, so we were right. Okay, so anyway, what we're saying, Mercy.
Oh, sorry, I was just kind of reading the rest of the names.
So Annie goes to where they are.
Yeah, so she goes all the way over to Baltimore. Was she from Baltimore?
They're on like two separate sides of the
U.S.
Of the United States.
And she flies all the way over there to go and try to talk to him and stuff, and instead she doesn't. She kind of just stares at him from across the street. She parks, stares at him because he lives on the water, so he's got like a house on the water.
Yeah.
And she kind of like parks, and she just stares at him, and they make eye contact, and then she almost gets hit by a car, and so then she wastes this whole scene and all this money for a flight, and I was like, I know how expensive it is, why'd you do that?
Oh, also Annie was dating this huge allergic peanut that was allergic to everything.
This man was allergic to literally everything, and he's like, and she's engaged to him, and she doesn't really love him, and she like starts to realize that while she's still engaged, and she goes after Sam, pretty much. Annie had written this letter, when she wrote this letter that she was gonna throw away, but then her friend went ahead and mailed it off anyway to Sam.
That's right, yeah.
And that's when the son opens it up, and it says that like Annie said she would meet Sam on top of the Empire State Building
on Valentine's Day,
and that's what she was she was going there anyway with her fiance. The little kid, Jonathan's like, oh my gosh, we need to do this. Now, while Sam was like, how the heck are we gonna afford to do this, and why are we gonna do this?
And also, why would we just go to New York?
And I don't know this lady. So he was like, yeah, no, we're not doing this. So
then Jonah and then his girlfriend, or his friend that is a girl, is completely strategic with this and goes, I know how to hook you up with a plane ticket. She plans
him a flight, and he ends up flying to New York
by himself, and
he sits on top of, he like waits on the Empire State Building, like in the area, for Annie to show up. All while Sam was like, where the heck is Jonathan? Because like he's supposed to have a babysitter, and the babysitter's like, yeah, he's not there. So Sam ended up having to fly to New York and go and get Jonathan. And they're at the top of the building, and Annie looks from across where they're eating at their really nice 5-star restaurant or something with her fiance. And she was like, yeah, I can't do this. I need to be there. And so then she ends up going over to the building.
Wait, actually, when she's like having dinner, she like sees like there's a heart that's like comes on this building, and she's like,
that's a sign.
It's a sign from the universe telling me that I should go to the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
Basically. And she's like, you know what? I'm not really feeling, dude. I'm gone. Bye. I hope that you can understand. He's like,
don't eat any peanuts. Bye. And so she ends up going over there, and she, like, Sam and Jonathan are leaving, and she goes up there, and then they have, like, you know, the whole chase thing kind of thing going on. Then they finally run into each other because Jonathan left his backpack and Annie found it.
Yep.
And then they're like, oh my god, we all see each other and we're in love.
And they, like, do not break eye contact with each other. They're just, like,
uncomfortable.
only looking at each other.
Yeah.
And they just, like, felt like instant connection. And then that's how the movie ends,
Pretty
question
much.
mark.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically.
That's the gist of it.
Yep, so this movie came out in 1989. It's considered I guess, an American classic.
Some would say an American classic. Depends, you know, what you're into. But I would say that, yeah, pretty easy to think about. I mean, it's always on your recommendations for, like, you know, Amazon Prime, or I don't even know if it's on Netflix. I think it's on Netflix. Various things like that were like, oh my gosh, yeah, there it is. Overall, I think it was a really good movie.
And maybe a lot different from people that watched it the time that it came out. But for us that weren't even alive when this movie came out, watching it for the first time, I mean, I can definitely see why people consider it to be such a really it's just a really good story, I guess.
I mean, it's not like a lot of what people try to make, like, a modern movie where they're like, oh my god, he liked my thing on Instagram, let's go meet each other. Or, oh my god, we're on Tinder, I'm swiping right on you and we're gonna go do stuff. Or, like, it's more of like, oh my gosh, it's like a love story, and it's not like a Hallmark movie though, where you're like, oh my god, I know the ending.
Oh, well, really? Are all Hallmark movies like that?
Yeah, they're all the same.
Okay, I've never seen one.
Really?
Yep, okay, so that was a summarization of this movie, and now what were some interesting things that we both found was pretty interesting at first glance?
I definitely think nowadays if you had a child call the radio station, they would be like, I'm not going to answer this phone call.
Yeah.
It's more of like they listen to it before they put it on the air kind of thing, because then everybody would call. He might have get Child Protective Services called on him possibly. Flights to New York are not that cheap, so I don't know how the heck they would get there. Don't know
Her
about
parents
you.
got money. Her parents, not him.
Didn't she pay for that?
I think she did. Wait, Annie or like
Yeah,
little
Annie.
girl?
Annie.
Did she?
Annie paid for her own flight, but no, I don't know.
I don't
Either
know.
way, I don't know how the heck you would afford a New York flight, and these days I wouldn't be flying.
Did you find the story to be like romantic compared to movies that are released now?
Now it's more like, let's throw in some, like, I don't want to say, it's more, I don't want to say trashy, but
It's not trashy.
no, like, they're not, but now, like, I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
now it's more of just like they're really trying hard to appeal to like this day and age.
I feel like a lot of like movies now are really over sexualized.
Oh,
and
yeah,
a whole lot of inappropriate content. Where that movie was just, it just seemed like a really
it was
nice.
Like, well, it's definitely more of a family
story.
movie.
Yeah, I would think so.
I could say my favorite freaking movie is The Wedding Date, and that movie's awesome. And I think it's from early 2000s, and it's got all the good songs, and it's got, look it up, it's good.
Have you seen Mamma Mia? Is that a romantic?
Mamma Mia, yeah. Mamma Mia's a romantic, it's more of a musical kind of thing. And I don't know. You haven't seen it?
No, I have seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding though. Are those similar?
It's the same.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, tells how well this is gonna go. Because we're talking about musicals and various things that have nothing to do with Sleepless in Seattle, but
Okay. What else? How would you rate this movie, like on like a star rating, or like a scale of 1 to 10?
for what it is, like a rom-com, it's pretty good. I would say like a 4.5 out of 5 on a rom-com scale.
Yeah, I would say that.
Because you want to get into, like, when you watch a movie, you want to get immersed into it and, like, not actually think about what's going on.
Yeah,
So,
it's your escape from reality.
and in reality, I'm not going to analyze every single movie I watch, because then I would never watch a movie.
Yeah, anyway, so you said 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, is it realistic though, or is like realistic to that point where, oh, that could happen?
It was a movie from the 80s or 90s, okay? We're not Can't go that deep on it.
Okay. Yeah, I would say like 7.5 out of 10 for me.
Okay. We did different scales. You did 5, I did 10. I did 5, you did 10.
And just like a variety of scales. Did you think the acting in it was pretty good?
Yeah, for what it is, yeah. I mean, it's not like Avatar or something crazy.
No. Like The Last Airbender, like Blue People?
The Blue People.
Okay. I see. I wonder if this movie won any
wasn't great.
categories.
Last Airbender was not great.
No.
Yeah, so no, we're not saying that. But yeah.
I've actually never seen
And we're getting to the end here.
Yes, we
Before we open more debates.
Okay, well, that was our review
Sponsor
of
us.
Sleepless in Seattle. If you watch it, probably.
If you watch this, good. We've gotten to the end. Good.
If you've gotten to this far, that means you've seen, like, you're interested in, like, what we think about a movie.
Or you were just like, hey, this is in my recommendations. Why not? I'm bored. Or you're just like, oh my god, I love this classic movie. Or you wanted to get a quick summary before you decide whether you want to watch it on Netflix.
Yeah. Would you watch the movie again?
Closer to Christmas, yeah, I would say. I mean, it's gonna probably be on TV if anybody still has cable.
On the Hallmark channel.
I don't want to be on Hallmark. Hallmark is Hallmark. It's got their own things.
Oh. Like Oprah's channel?
Like
Does
Oprah's
Oprah have her
channel?
own Christmas movies? Okay, I'm going way off topic.
Okay.
So, thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for watching.
I'll link Mercy's social media down below if you'd like to see what her deal is about.
There's not a whole lot of deals going on, but okay.
Yeah, okay, I'll see
Okay.
you in the next video. Okay.
Bye!
Bye.